178 for a fast autofocus portrait lens. Yes, you heard me right, that's TTArtisan 75mm f2. Unbelievably priced and surprisingly good despite 3 flaws. Let's dive in. You would expect awful autofocus at this price point, but it's actually kinda good. There are some issues, but only if you push it. The stepper autofocus motor is totally adequate for portraits and street photography, quiet and reasonably fast. We tested this lens on Sony, where third-party lenses always perform best thanks to Sony's Open E-mount protocol. Then we tried the L-mount version on the gorgeous Sigma BF, and the autofocus worked just as well. However, autofocus performance is the first thing I would consider a flaw. If you need to shoot fast sports or chase kids around, your success rate with this lens will drop a lot. At this focal length, fast autofocus requires linear motors and tight integration with the camera algorithms. This lens has neither. Second flaw, optics. But again, not in the way you would expect. The specs actually tell you the full story. 10 elements in 7 groups with just one AD element. Enough for sharp images, not enough for clinical perfection. The f2 aperture with 9 blades delivers solid subject separation, decent low light performance and nice bokeh. Minimum focus distance is 75 cm or 30 inches. It's fine for portraits, but won't help you with macro work. Center sharpness at f2 is genuinely good, though the corners are noticeably softer. At f2.8 you get the sweet spot, sharp center, solid corners and nice rendering. At f4 sharpness is high and even across the frame. Up close sharpness drops slightly but remains usable. When shooting wide open, subjects pop against the background. The autofocus zone is smooth with nice bokeh balls. Mild cat eye effect in the corners, some busyness but nothing too distracting. Chromatic aberrations are moderate and distortion is well controlled. There is a mild punctual distortion, but it actually flatters portraits. But backlit is where this lens falls apart. No fancy coatings mean abysmal flare resistance. Point it at the sun and watch your contrast vanish into a rainbow of reflections. Third problem, this lens isn't great for video. Autofocus hunts a lot unless you crank down the AF response speed. It also has noticeable focus breathing. The field of view changes a lot when focusing. Deal breaker for serious video work. But if you don't need fast autofocus, can avoid backlit scenes and don't shoot video much, there's a lot to like about this lens. For example, did you wonder what's up with this strange focal length? 75mm might seem weird, but it's actually a classic focal length. Do you know that Leica doesn't make 85mm lenses? Instead, they opted for 75mm lenses as a logical middle ground between normal 50mm and portrait telephoto 90mm. It makes sense that TTArtisan chose 75mm as their first full-frame autofocus lens. The brand is known for producing high-quality manual Leica glass for $500 to $900. Sounds expensive, but only until you compare it to Leica prices. And TTArtisan does come close to the levels of craftsmanship and mechanical quality of original lenses. With the 75mm f2, TTArtisan brings the same energy to budget autofocus lenses. The all-metal body looks and feels great. It's really small for a portrait lens, but despite the size, still has a proper aperture ring. Lens weight varies by mount, but it's around 330 grams or 12 ounces. So basically you get compact and light lens, fast and sharp enough with decent autofocus, great for portraits and street photography, and at a price point of a kit lens. Skip it if you need autofocus speed and reliability, or love or have to shoot a lot of backlit scenes. In the end, it's not a professional tool, but otherwise it's a great offer. My final recommendation will depend on your mount. TTArtisan makes the 75mm f2 for Sony E, Nikon Z and L mount. At this price, there is nothing comparable on any mount, but your options are still different. Sony mount has dozens of alternatives, including two 75mm primes. They all start at twice the price and can't beat the value of TTArtisan. But there are options and some provide something extra. Nikon's different. Any third-party lens is a blessing. The TTArtisan 75 f2 is a great alternative to the native 85 f1.8. L-mount is the birthplace of 75mm lenses, so you have options, if you can afford them. Budget choices start at $600 to $800. TTArtisan crushes them on price and keeps up with the quality. The TTArtisan 75mm f2 really shows that you don't have to break the bank to get a great lens. For $178, you can get great mechanical quality with the nice optics and livable compromises. Even if you are going to skip this one, keep an eye on this brand. They might surprise you in the future. Goodbye.